Good morning. This is the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Monday, July 17th. On the impact map, lots going on today. On the left, we have our first dry lightning outbreak or event of the season. You can see these areas in red here where we're expecting isolated to scattered dry lightning. The further north and east you go, it'll be more of a mix of mixed wet and dry. There'll be some isolated strikes down in the south too, but the biggest coverage and areas of concern, far northwest Nevada, a good portion of southern or southwest Idaho today, and that's combined with the heat that continues. See this area here in purple for at least the southern two-thirds of the geographic area. Tuesday and Wednesday, stationary area of moisture around the central portion of the Great Basin will continue an area of mixed wet and dry lightning. However, there'll be lots of cloud cover during this time. The surface humidities will be up a little bit. We may see ignitions. We're not anticipating those ignitions translating into large fire growth in these areas just yet. So we'll look at that. Also, where fuels are totally critical, south of this dashed line that we see here, doesn't mean they're not critical further north. Grasses are cured in most lower elevations. It's just when you get into the middle to higher elevations, there's still a fair amount of high values of live fuel moisture. So looking here on the right, we did have the lightning breakout right along the California, Western Nevada border, but a bigger area across parts of southwest Idaho. And we expect this flare up to continue and actually expand across northern Nevada as we go through the day today and the daytime instability. You can see any precipitation here on the left, just fairly light. New fire starts in the red, so it's been an active day with initial attack. Nothing going large just yet, but we'll see how the ignitions progress throughout the day. It's been dry, not just the past 7 days on the left, but over the past 14 days. The first shade of blue is just a couple of hundredths of an inch, and a lot of that's radar estimated, which means it's sometimes overestimated. And over a 2 week period, that really is basically nothing. Looking at our severe fire danger mapping system, this is a combination of ERC and burning index. You can see that large area is in the high, especially where it had the lightning. There's a few pockets of very high, a much larger area of concern across central and southern areas. Looking at some individual PSAs, we're going to focus where we're having the lightning. So northwest Nevada, you can see how quickly it has risen over the past couple days above the normal gray line and halfway between normal and record levels. Actually, that's in southwest Idaho, I should say. In northwest Nevada, a little bit slower, just below their normal mid-July levels, but still fairly high. Further east you go, it looks like this is in our Jarbidge area, again, near normal, not exponentially high, not near the 90th percentile. So fuels, still from the cool spring and wet winter, not quite well above normal just yet. Of course, when we evaluate things, it's kind of a battle between the grasses that have mostly cured out in lower elevations, but still some of the higher levels of live fuel moisture in the green that you sometimes see. And some of our new mid-July reports are coming in. Doyle, right on the Nevada-California border, dropped down to about 125. We consider 150 and above where the live fuel moisture basically stops fire pretty much in its tracks. Below 150, it stops acting like an inhibitor. Sometimes wind can push it. If it gets below 100, it definitely consumes almost in the same way that cured grass does. And we go Lewis Canyon, and again, it's just a little bit about the same values through there. Looking at the satellite imagery, you see the high pressure ridge very close to being the Four Corners high, pumping up some moisture. This area of convection is what we're concerned about. It's being enhanced by the strong cold front that's in the Pacific Northwest. We expect these enhanced clouds to flare up across northern Nevada, parts of northwest Utah, and much of Idaho through the afternoon. The biggest concern will be western areas, and we'll talk about that. So here is later this afternoon. You can see where the areas of mid-level moisture are best, and this is where we expect thunderstorm activity by this afternoon. There is drier air punching into areas of southwest Idaho where they received lightning during the overnight and early morning hours. We continue with high risk through there. We do expect to see lightning further east, but fuels there, especially live fuel moisture, not quite as dry, so not as big of a concern through there. Here's the issue. We have winds here, and these orange to purple shades anywhere from 25 to 35 miles per hour in some areas, also a smaller area down here. So with the lightning, we could see a bit of wind giving it a little bit of push. We'll have to watch that as we go through the afternoon and evening hours. On the precipitation map, this is through this evening. Classic dry lightning signature, these elongated, very light precipitation amounts, kind of look like string beans on the computer models. And that's kind of what we get more concerned about. You see, as we go further east, they consolidate and they get a little heavier in terms of amounts, more of a wetting rain through here. So it's really across Nevada and southwest Idaho. We'll have to worry. We'll have to see how this occurs up in the high country, in the forest. They're just barely coming into marginally critical up there. You can see by the colors. Tomorrow, still that stationary band of moisture and thunderstorms we expect right along the I-80 corridor and just south of there. You can see on the significant fire potential, we're still in transitioning from south to north in terms of critical fuels and potential for large fire. The humidities tomorrow, not quite as dry. Looking down in southern Utah, 18%, 12% in Vegas. That's about a 5 to 8% bump up. But there's still pockets of dry air in areas where we don't want it, where they'll see lightning in northwest Nevada, southwest Idaho. Winds, moderate breezes of 10 to 20 miles per hour everywhere, maybe a bit stronger in the south and up in western Wyoming. Now, on Wednesday, that stationary band kind of drifts further north, but still across near the I-80 corridor, maybe just north of there. So we'll see some lightning again, but we'll see more higher humidity throughout the day. You can see the humidity levels closer to 20% in those areas. Winds slackening off a little bit. Now, temperatures, high temperatures for today compared to Wednesday, and see a lot of areas in the central and southern Great Basin take about a 3 to 5 degree cool down. So back to basically near normal summertime warmth, maybe a little bit above normal, but still baking up in some areas in southwest Idaho. They may actually be warming up there. 3-day precipitation totals show that stationary band of thunderstorms we expect late today, Tuesday, and Wednesday across parts of central Nevada and Utah. The deep monsoon still well to the south. Thursday, high pressure continues to build in. These areas of black with little green pin drops, the air mass is more humid, so we're not going to see as much single-digit humidity. We'll also have enough moisture to trigger some late-day thunderstorms we'll have to watch, but still that dry air poking into the western Great Basin where they would have had some recent lightning, and that high pressure builds, so there's no relief from the heat. Any slight cool down in daytime temperatures in southern areas will come at the expense of warmer overnight lows as dry air cools off late at night. More humid air masses tend to keep the overnight low temperatures warmer. And then by Saturday, this blackish, very few tannish areas back here. So I wouldn't call this a monsoon. This is kind of a quasi monsoon or the leading edge where we could see lightning, could even see new fire starts. And then by Sunday, we could see more consolidated precipitation coming through. Not quite the full-blown monsoon that comes straight out of Mexico and Arizona, but little bits and pieces of it. So this could either cause some more lightning starts on the outer edge of it up north, maybe bring some moderation in southern areas. So we'll see how the computer models play this as we go through the week. But by and large, the deep monsoonal moisture still stays to our south. So lightning, any precip we get will probably be on the lighter side. And the 8 to 14 day shows a monsoonal push kind of more into Arizona and southern Nevada, that last day's frame that we showed, near normal potential, but where they did have or will have recent lightning, still drier than normal, much hotter than normal as that Four Corners high or Great Basin high continues to dominate the region into the last week of July. And this concludes our briefing. Have a great day.